What is up? We Don't Know Sports Nation. Now is the time that we ask fans all across the world to take off the filter, rip off the Band-Aid, and tell everyone exactly what is on their mind. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for No Filter. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the Super Bowl. We still got a little over a week to go. So we thought no better time than to go out and find people in the LA Rams Nation, in the Houday Jungle, and just wanted to bring them together and let them talk and smack to each other, but honestly, just let them share their fandom and what's going on. And we got Tony and Mark representing LA, and we got Kirkland and Mike. They're representing the jungle. And I gotta say, hey, off the bat, guys, the Rams guys, like they got the merch. I mean, look at the backgrounds here. You guys are like just in the. I don't know what's happening.
Gotta have it.
I got kids at home, all right?
You know what? They're going to need it. They're going to need it.
Hey, that's not an excuse. So I got 8 kids. So, you can try to put your stuff up.
Nah, priorities first. And also, you guys need something to cry on after, Joe Burrow throws all those touchdowns over that defense.
All right. So we're going to start off, guys. We're going to kind of roll through it. I'm going to start just with Tony here. So, Tony, just where are you at right now? Where are you living at? And how long have you been a Rams fan?
Right now, I currently live in the Sacramento area, Antelope to be exact. I'm originally from Long Beach, California. This is down south. I've been a Rams fan for about 50 years. Before they were, when they played the Big A, when they went to St. Louis, when they come back, all that. But now I'm in the heart of Niner country, and it is garbage up here because I get a lot of crap up here from all these Niner fans. And after losing 6 in a row, it was finally sure nice to win that last one when it counted to get to the Super Bowl because we finally got to shut them up a little bit.
So you have been a fan when they were there the first time. Were you a fan while they were in St. Louis?
Oh, yeah. And people always get on me about that. They're like, well, why are you a fan of them? Well, I moved up here from Long Beach. I don't want people hating me because I moved. So why am I going to hate them because they moved? It happens. Stuff happens. And then they came back. So, but yeah, I've been a fan all through everything.
So you just had faith that they were going to come back. I understand. That makes
sense.
I
just loved them wherever they were, no matter what.
Hey, there you go. All right, let me swing over to Mark. How long have you been following the Rams?
Since the 70s when Harris, McCutcheon, the young bloods. I grew up in Hawaii, military kid, so all we got there was Rams games from the West Coast. So I've been a Rams fan since the 70s.
Okay, now what were you doing last weekend?
I was at the game, the Niners game. I took my son to station out there in Lemoore. I surprised him with a pair of tickets. We went and we watched the game. It was probably about the best time we ever had. The stadium's beautiful. It's like a resort in there. I mean, I just cannot believe it. It's going to be something else for the Super Bowl. It's going to be a great game.
All right, so that's only like a 2-hour drive for you, right?
That's a 6-hour flight. I'm in southeastern Connecticut. It was a long flight, but well worth it.
Okay, and you're a high school football coach too by trade, right?
Yeah, I'm a defensive coordinator up there in Connecticut.
All right, whose jersey are you rocking?
Woods, USC Rams fan. So my favorite player. I wish he was playing, but he was at the game. I got to see him. I didn't get to meet him, but I got to see him, and it was a great time.
Gotcha.
Situation how we deal with the Woods and Odell Beckham situation going forward.
That's a conversation for another show, but you're absolutely right. Let's move over to the Bengals fans. Start with Kirkland. How long have you been a fan, and where are you at right now, brother?
Man, I've been a fan of the Bengals really since back in the Carson Palmer, Chad Ochocinco days, back 2005, 2006. Rode with them even whenever at Andy Dalton because I was a big TCU fan as well because I'm originally from the Houston area. Big time, actually, Oak Ridge area, Magnolia area. Big shout out to Joseph Osei, who plays for the Bengals actually as well, 3rd-round draft pick. But right now located in Douglas, but always a Houday Nation no matter what.
All right. And then, Mike, last but not least, bring us home, brother. How long have you been rocking for the Bengals, and where are you at?
All right. So right now I am in Phoenix. I'm not Phoenix. I'm in Tucson, Arizona. And I've been a Bengals fan. So my birthday is Saturday. I'll be 48 years then. I was born into it.
I hear you. So, what's the? Well, never mind. I'm gonna get to some of those questions later.
Cincinnati native, by the way. I was born in Cincinnati, so that's how I
Okay.
became a fan.
So this is truly a nationwide podcast here. We go from Connecticut to California and everywhere in between. So that's nice. So let me kick it back up to Tony. What's been your favorite? If you had to give me one moment, your favorite moment as being a Rams fan, what stands out to you?
Oh, the Super Bowl '99, man. That is a stop at the 1 yard line, because going into that game, I'll be honest, I was so scared, because if they score that touchdown there, I think they're going for two. You know, who wants to go for the tie, because they had the momentum at that time, and you don't want to go overtime against Warner and everything at that point. So I really think if they would have scored, they would have went for two, and then who knows what would have happened. So that stop on the 1 yard line was absolutely the highlight.
All right, Mark, how about you? Are you sharing the same experience, or does anything else stand out to you?
Yeah, I mean, I've gone to a couple of the NFC I think I've been to every NFC Championship game, no matter St. Louis or whatever, and those are kind of just special to me to be there at the game with my kids or whatever. But, you know, the Super Bowl, obviously, '99 was a big thing, but going to those NFC Championship games with my kids was really special to me and to them. Those memories we'll have forever.
Hell yeah. I mean, when you go, that makes it 10 times better. Mr. Brown's a big Atlanta Braves fan, and he got to go to the World Series, and it wasn't a clinching game, but that's probably your highlight, right?
Oh, absolutely. There's nothing like a World Series, man. You just, it was insane.
So, you know, we're hoping that you know, we don't know sports here. See, I'm actually a Bengals fan. I'm just going to let everybody know that. I didn't wear any gear here or anything.
Don't hate me about that, but I stick with the Shield. They suck, but I am what I am.
I purposely am not in this conversation as far as fandom goes. I got to give it to you guys. But let me go back to Kirkland real quick. What's your highlight of a Bengals fan since you came on in the good time when we got Palmer and Ocho Cinco and all those boys? So what's the highlight for you?
Honestly, Palmer's highlight, the funniest highlight ever, and literally what showed the Who Dey Nation on what started on the relentlessness, the fightness, and everything. Whenever Carson Palmer tripped in the Pro Bowl skill challenge, and got up, laughed it off, and acted like nothing happened, and just continued on and just carried on like it was nothing. Like, just that moment right there, and just how he had that character and that posture. Like, that just shows how strong and relentless we were, no matter what was happening to us and how much we got laughed at. 2-14 seasons, all of that. We still fought. We still stay strong. And I promise you, me jumping up and down in my living room last Sunday night, whenever Kansas City went down, Evan McPherson hit that field goal. Oh my God, it was like a dream come true right there. I'm not even kidding.
All right, Mike, how about you, brother? What's because you have a little bit more of a history here because you've been a fan for so long. I'm sorry. It's been rough sometimes.
Man, it's been rough.
But give me the highlight for you.
For me, the highlight would have to been, I would think it was 2002 Riverfront Stadium. This was the year that we got rid of the Riverfront Stadium. So I went to go see the last game. It was like maybe 35, 40 degrees, pouring down rain the whole game. And they beat the Cleveland Browns. So that was the perfect way to go ahead and get rid of that old decrepit stadium. And I'm not going to say that I went home with some fold up orange bingo chairs, but that definitely was a good probability.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with that. We're not that we condone vandalism at all, but
right.
All right. So let me swing it back up to the Rams fans, and either of y'all can go first, whoever wants to chime in. So give me your thoughts on this season. Just tell me kind of what your experience was. If you had to give it a grade, like, how do you feel about the Rams this year?
You know, I think personally, we met expectations, first of all, obviously, because in the beginning of the season, everybody either expected or their prognosticators had us going to the Super Bowl. So we met expectations, but I actually think we did better because we have new coaches in there. You know, the defense, we weren't sure how that was going to come along. You know, we progressed and obviously we're progressing at the right time, you know, because Von Miller's picking it up a lot lately. Odell's getting more involved in the offense. So, you know, I think McVay did pretty good for what he had to on the fly. Now, we weren't depleted like Baltimore, but we weren't stacked like Tampa Bay either. You know, we had to, you know, mismatch. We had injuries in the beginning with Akers in the beginning, and then our backup running back going down. So we had a lot of stuff to go to. So I think that we met expectations was probably a plus side, because I don't know if we could have, especially the way Arizona was playing in the beginning. It was looking kind of rough, but yeah, I think overall we met expectations and they're pretty good.
I mean, y'all won a
I think
playoff game last year with golf, so like anything short of the Super Bowl probably would be under expectations. But go ahead, Mark. Go ahead, Mark.
I don't bash golf. I'm an old fan, so I don't bash golf, though.
I think that 3-game losing streak, a lot of question marks came up in that. You could see they weren't scheming the right way because it wasn't great opponents. They were getting beat pretty bad in that losing streak. And then they won 7 of the last 8. And I think they kind of figured out what they needed to do scheme-wise, especially on defense. Defense is playing a lot better now than they were in the beginning of the season. A lot of people question what Morris was doing with coverage cells and stuff. But I think you can see now with Miller was a big addition to that. That pressure they bring, they're relying on Ramsey to just get those guys. And Weddle has been huge, and I was not a fan of him coming back, but he's putting everybody where they need to be. Nick Scott's playing out of his mind. I just think they progressed the defense throughout the season. I think they're where they need to be right now.
I think you hit the nail on the head, but like from an outside perspective looking in, like on paper in the preseason, you had the Rams, you had the Bucks, you had the Packers. If any of those three would have made the Super Bowl at the beginning on paper, it wouldn't have surprised you. And then they was kind of up and down throughout the season. You get Beckham, you get Von Miller, the huge pickups, and they're still not gelling. And then you're like, is it going to work? Is it bad chemistry? And then they quickly got past that point, and they went on that road towards the end of the stretch run, like you said, and here we are. So they were who we thought they were.
I'll be honest. In the beginning, I'm not a big Odell Beckham fan, so I wasn't really big on the pickup. And then the next day, Bobby Trees goes down. You're like, oh my God, was that a godsend? And it took a while. But again, I'm not, as a person, I'm not really a big Odell fan, but I'm sure glad we got him now. I've learned he's grown on me.
All right, last question for the Rams guys. I'm going to switch over to the Bengals. Nobody's really been able to buy a championship team. Not that the Rams necessarily are buying, but like they are foregoing draft picks in the pursuit of free agency. So is that an approach that you guys kind of are happy with, or do you worry about the future? I mean, just your overall take on that.
I believe in getting a known commodity because you don't know what you're getting in the draft ever. So having a known commodity over having something that's unknown, I'm all for it. If it's bringing us to championships and bring us where it is, which it is, then, man, let's do it.
You feel the same way, Mark?
Yeah, their philosophy, what they're doing now, and I was talking to another defensive guy today. They're going into free agency in the later rounds, and they're getting guys, and their coaching staff is just developing them. I think if they win Sunday, I think that's the blueprint they're going to stay with. They're going to draft late, get a lot of picks, go to free agency, and they're just going to develop guys. And that's what they've done, and I think that's a good blueprint. I think you can see other teams do that. Don't waste. I mean, how many first-round picks really make it in the league? I think it's less than 30%, are worth that one first-round tag. So I think it's a blueprint, and they win. I think you see other teams do it. They really do.
All right. So, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I can tell you I'm very butthurt over first-round picks because freaking Leatherwood is god-awful for the Raiders. Every time there's a holding call on the Raiders, I'm like, it's Leatherwood.
Yeah,
Guaranteed.
That showed itself in the playoffs too. That happened a couple times. But let me switch over to Kirkland. Let's talk about the Bengals. So, just thoughts on the season. How do you feel like they did, and just your overall versus expectations, maybe?
Man, I'm not gonna lie. Looking into the season with preseason, with the way Jamar Chase was questioned, the way Joe Burrow's still coming off the ACL tear, everything like that. Offensive line struggles and everything not fully guaranteed. Worried. No. And then, of course, in the AFC North, Pittsburgh Steelers, Baltimore Ravens, Cleveland Browns, who were supposed to be somewhat good this year, but, went back to the old days like always. So it was kind of hard. And then whenever they started the season, up and down like always, but they wrote it off. And whenever they did that KC overtime win in the regular season, that was a kickstart. And I think that was a big kickstart even for the playoffs. And
Absolutely.
I mean, it's just unbelievable with what Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase has been able to do. And I think that's actually going to be the draft scheme now. It's going to be, if you want your franchise quarterback, you're going to go after his star wide receiver in the NFL if it's possible. And especially you see it in the portal already with Caleb Williams and Mario Williams both going to UCLA. So or Spencer Rattler and his tight end going to South Carolina. So it's amazing. And then for not only that, to be able to witness Joe Burrow make history, like the ultimate history, first ever Heisman Trophy winner, first ever national champion winner, and he will win the Super Bowl. So the Super Bowl winner to hit that trifecta is going to be unbelievable. And he's actually going to, I guarantee you, Super Bowl MVP on top of that. Guaranteed. He's throwing 4 touchdowns over that defense. Nothing's
all right. Let's give Mike a chance to chime in just on his thoughts of the season versus expectations. And honestly, like, just where did you think the Bengals would be at versus where they're at now?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I would like to come on here and be able to say, hey, you know what? I predicted this from the beginning of the season. But again, just like Kirk, I'm not going to lie. Nobody's seen it. As a Bengals fan, we always hope and wish we can get back to 82, 89 when we were up against San Francisco. But we were able to power through. I mean, a 10-7 record, that's definitely not the greatest record. However, just like Kirk said, having Joe Burrow change the whole franchise around. Coming back, I felt that he'd do good this year coming back, especially with having Chase as well. They exceeded expectations. I mean, Cincinnati right now, come on. I mean, this is a dream come true. And just really quick, I mean, I know we're saying we're being honest here. So, Tony, let's be honest. Let's keep it transparent. You guys are buying it. I mean, come on. You had to bring in people from wherever you can find them at. Let's be transparent here. I mean, come on.
Whatever it takes. Bring in the best talent. In any business you own or anything, you want the best talent. So
hey, if that helps, look, we earned it. Look, the Bengals, we earned Burrow the old-fashioned way, sucking for years and years and years. That's how you get a #1 draft pick.
Exactly.
Right?
We learned to in the big ticket just for temporary use. All right.
Well, we got a lot of young players. I mean, Akers isn't old. Akers is young. Higbee's young. I mean, we got some good. Van Jefferson.
You got 2 years left on Stafford. You got probably 3 years left of Darnold. You got probably a year left of Von Miller.
So we got 3 more Super Bowl championships in the next couple of years.
No, not like this.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with both of the Bengals fans. I feel like if you all would have been told you was going to make the playoffs, especially after what happened with Burrow, and that was probably a win for most Bengals fans, just getting in the playoffs, because that would have been progress. There was a lot of question marks on paper when the season started, and you guys have persevered despite the offensive line, and you're just not taking no for an answer. And Burrow, man, I think he's the next big thing, if he's not already, for quarterbacks in the league. So you got to watch out.
Now, especially the preseason, I didn't take Chase on my fantasy team because he was having such a garbage preseason. They were saying, "Oh, is he a bust?"
Dude, he said that he couldn't see the ball the same because it didn't have the white rings on the end of it. You know, when you hear things like that.
Hey, but he's proved everybody wrong. Rookie reception and yards. I mean, offensive rookie of the year. He proved everybody wrong. So enough said, he wasn't a bust. It was the perfect draft pick right there.
All right. So that being said, all the stuff talking about building teams and whatnot, Bengals fans need to realize that they do have about $56 million in cap space. So maybe they'll be buying some pieces here in the next year or two.
Hopefully that O-line.
Yeah, at least the right side of it.
Yeah.
So, all right, let me swing back to Tony. Let's let you kind of diagnose the Bengals here. So when you look at your opponent in the Super Bowl, what are your thoughts?
Okay, well, my thoughts are, they definitely got great receivers. And there's A, B, and C. You got Higgins, you got after that, and you got Boyd. And if Uzama's back, then you've got him as a good tight end. So they got great receivers. So, we have good passing receivers and everything too. So I think it's going to come down to the defense. And I just don't think their defense matches up to ours. I don't think their offensive, Burrow's going to be wishing for the days of 9 sacks, because I think we're going to put him on his back at least that. He's going to be running for his life back there. So in my mind,
Tennessee sacked him 8 times and he still won.
That's true. That won't happen against the Rams, though. We just got to get pressure on him. And he is a pretty cocky guy. He has that swag. He carries himself that way. So if we can get in his head and put him on his back enough times, maybe get some pressure and do that. I think that's the key, because offensively, I think possibly they can't keep up with us because they have a lot of weapons. And you throw in Mixon there. Mixon's no slouch, so they got the running game to offset it a little bit. So I think it'll be a good game, but I don't think I think where it's going to come down to it is our defense. So I think that's what's going to win it for us.
Okay, so let me ask Mark, you got a defensive mind, at least through coaching. So I'm just curious if you view anything different. What are your thoughts on the Bengals and how do the Rams approach this game?
I'm really interested to see how the Bengals are going to play defense. They really did a great job against Kansas City, that halftime adjustment. They went to that three-man rush. They confused Mahomes. They put 8 in coverage. They put a spy on him. They made him look all over, and there was nobody open, and they got to him. With Stafford, you don't have to worry about a spy because he ain't taking off. So they can get to him with 3 guys, that zone coverage. I'm curious how McVay's going to attack that. Because you're going to see that at some point. Coordinator for Cincinnati, he's going to mix up his coverages. He's going to disguise that front. I really think McVay is going to have – I mean, you can attack that kind of defense with screens, tight end screens and stuff. I think we'll see a lot of that, a lot of flood routes. You're not going to be able to throw against that 8-man shell. Like I said, you don't have to spy Stafford, but I'm curious to see how McVay's going to attack that defense. Their bend don't break. You know, they got probably the best defensive player. I love Donald. I think he's the greatest of all time. But their defensive end, he's special. He's got the most sacks in the last 2 years in the NFL. They're going to come after Stafford. Whitworth's going to have to play a hell of a game. But that's it. The matchup I'm intrigued. That Cincinnati defense against McVay and his offense, that to me is going to be the game right there. Yeah, I think Cincinnati's going to 20. It's just a matter if the Rams can score more than that.
Yeah, I want to give you a shout out for that. That was excellent analysis because you're right about the Bengals defense. I mean, they truly did run a multiple D. Like if you go back to the Titans game, they were playing like 300+ pound guys on the lines to try to stop Henry. And then you talk about the difference against Kansas City. So they have kind of shown the mad scientist experimentation there, so to speak. So awesome call out.
The only thing he was missing was the teleprompter and a few booming pows. Yeah, he was right
there. For sure.
So
I'm old school. I used to with my team. That's why
I know. Next time we'll get you on. Just have like a whiteboard with you, and you can just kind of call it out for us. See, I expect nothing less from a defensive coordinator. All right, let's swing over to the Bengals. So, you know, I'm impartial here. You guys have got to feel like you're playing with house money at this point. You're not even supposed to be here. The Rams, you know, were one of the top 4 or 5 teams predicted to get to this spot. So now you're going into their house. How do you feel about them when you're talking about the game plan? What scares you? What keeps you up at night? And what do you feel like you can exploit? And we'll start with Kirk.
Man, it's kind of hard to break it down because it's not just that they were predicted to go to Super Bowl. I mean, Kansas City, Tennessee were also predicted to go to Super Bowl. It's not like Kansas City's defense. They actually have the star defensive players in Von Miller, in Jalen Ramsey. They have Aaron Donald, Floyd. I mean, they have that defensive front. But at the same time going in, that's the only thing that scares you. And to see the fact, though, that Joe Burrow is going to be able to sit back there and seeing him taking the hits and still be able to, you know, maintain composure, make the throws and guide, it's going to be very interesting to see if he can continue to do it, especially with Aaron Donald. He's not going to be forgiving either is Von Miller. So that's going to really scare me on those 2 outside edges coming crashing in 24/7 right on him, because I guarantee you the Rams defense will be bringing those 2 players 24/7. They will not be in coverage at all. They are going to bring all 3 of their front men at Burrow 24/7, especially against the offensive line. But if Burrow can do like what he did against Kansas City and just make those adjustments, take the checkdowns, take what the defense gets you and get those quick throws out and make sure you take what it gives you, it's an easy win, especially with Evan McPherson, because we can at least know we can get in that field goal range if it's a tied game and knock it off for the win.
All right, Mike, what can you add to that, or do you disagree with anything?
No, I think definitely, you know, what I would say would keep me up at night is definitely Donald. I mean, that guy's a monster. That guy's a beast coming through the middle.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a big issue. You know, Burrow was on his back, 8 or 9 times? That's a lot of times. You can't do that in the Super Bowl and still expect to win. You know, we got away with that one. You can't do that against the Rams, to be honest. So that's gonna be very interesting. I would like to see too what they're gonna do with what are they going to do with Miller? Where are they going to have him at? And you still have Floyd on the other side as well. And on top of that, you got the lockdown coverage with Ramsey. So those are the things that scare me. Bengals definitely has a lot of star power. We have Chase out there. We have Burrow. I mean, he's a proven winner. So the big thing for me is, can we protect Burrow? Can we give him enough time to sit back there in the pocket? I think we definitely know that he likes to go for the long ball. He definitely likes to target Chase. And I think they're definitely going to try to take that away from the Bengals. One big thing I think is going to be a key to this. If I'm not mistaken, Zach Taylor, he was with the Rams coaching staff at one point. Am I correct?
Yeah, he's a McVay guy.
Yes.
Yeah, McVay guy. So I think I think that's going to make a big difference, that he knows a little bit of the inside game. So I'm looking for that to be the edge.
I think with that, though, all the coordinators for both sides, like the guys that Zach Taylor has, they're not really affiliated with anything the Rams have done. And then the Rams, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys have lost so many coaches over promotions the past couple of years. It's like a whole new group of talent, right?
Yeah, we're about to lose our OC too.
OC's gone too already, and Morris will probably be gone after the Super Bowl, is my guess, but we'll see. But it's McVay. McVay brings guys in he knows his system or believe what he wants to do, and I just think he'll plug in again. He'll probably do it from within this time because he's got a couple assistant coaches that have been with him a long time. The linebackers coach knows the defense. The tight end coach, which is Phillips's Whitfield's son, Wes Phillips, he knows the offense. I think a guy will just step in. We all know McVay runs the offense anyways, so he'll handpick who comes in there. Defense, they got enough stars in there. I think they'll keep all those guys for another year at least. They got about $40 million in cap room. Big Whit retires, they'll have another $10 million. So I think they're going to try and make this a 2 or 3 year run. So he'll bring in guys, or he'll bring somebody from the street, and we'll be fine. But those guys are going to go. They do every year.
All right, guys, I want to hit you with some rapid fire here as we begin to wrap up. So one real quick, this came from one of our followers, Dan Wiener. That's his real name. He wanted to know, this might be more for the Bengals fans. You guys put chili on your spaghetti?
Yes. It's a Cincinnati favorite, Cincinnati style chili. Skyline or Gold Star? I'm a Gold Star man myself.
Okay,
Tony. I heard Skyline's really good though.
Tony and Mark, does that make any sense to you guys at all, or is that just nonsense talk?
You know, I put chili on the top ramen soup before after I mess it up, but not on spaghetti.
I got a question for you guys. Why not chili on spaghetti though?
Why not chili on anything?
Exactly,
I like the
right?
way Mark thinks. That's a good answer. All right, let me ask our Rams guys here. So how does it feel to play both the NFC Championship game and the Super Bowl at home, but yet, as I think Tony mentioned earlier, you're technically the road team when it comes to the Super Bowl?
Hey, it's awesome to be playing there. It sucks being the road team, but it doesn't really matter. I guess we still get to use our own locker room, and everything else. So there's no change there. It sucks that Tampa Bay won first. They didn't get to play the NFC Championship there, but it sucks that they won last year first to be the first team at home to win it, because then we would have been the first. But, we'll take it. We'll be the second. We're the first one to have the NFC Championship and the Super Bowl and win it. So we'll take that.
All right, so let me ask the Bengals fans this. This comes from one of our followers, Trey Morris, who we actually asked if he wanted to come on this segment, but I think he got scared. Sorry, Trey. I didn't mean to throw you under the bus. But he wanted to know, when did you guys, or do you believe in Zach Taylor? And if you do, when was the moment that changed your mind on how you felt about him? Because it was off to a little shaky start.
I'll let Mike start with that one, actually.
Yeah,
because I still don't fully believe behind him. So,
look, at this point, we're going to roll with him till the wheels fall off. But for me, honestly, it really came towards the end of the season and the way he was able to rally his team when it started heading into the playoff time. That was it for me. Hey, he's better than Marvin Lewis. So,
yeah, that is true. But that's pretty much it. I mean, whenever he got into the playoffs and he's been able to rally, then it's made it more hopeful. But at the same time, I mean, it's 1 year. We got to hope it still rides, though. And I'm hoping it still does ride. I'm praying it still rides.
All right, we're gonna wrap up here. The last thing I got for everybody, and I'm gonna start with Mike, go to Kirk, then Mark, and then we're going to end on Tony. So we're going in opposite order here. I want your prediction, your final score, and tell me how you're watching the Super Bowl. So, Mike, go ahead. And just so you guys know, the Rams are a 4.5 point favorite right now, and the over/under is 48.5. So, Mike, go ahead. Tell me what you got.
All right. You know what? I'll definitely jump out here. It's a win. Bengals going to win. We have it. We have the momentum going with this. Joe Burrow is a proven winner. Final score, I'm going to go with 24-27 Bengals. And my boss doesn't know it yet, but I will be in LA with my family watching the Super Bowl, and I hope to get out there to tailgate.
Ooh, hell yeah. That's what we want to hear. All right, Curry, your turn,
You
bud.
should tag him. That's how he makes the announcement.
Yeah, that's right. They'll show him on the jumbo board. All right, we gotta go 4 out of time. Kirk, you go next.
All right, so real quick, Bengals all the way. Final score is going to be 31-28. Last minute kick for the win, guaranteed.
All right, and how are you watching the game?
I'm watching the game at home with my family, just drinking a couple drinks behind it.
All right, nothing wrong with that. Mark, what's your prediction and where are you watching the game?
Rams 27-17. I either watch it up here at Foxwoods or I'm trying to get a couple tickets to the game. A filmmaker of mine is trying to get me some comp tickets, so I might be there. But if not, I'll be up at Foxwoods watching it in DraftKings Lounge.
I feel like what's the guy on the Colts? Biggie's our buddy over here off camera. Who's the guy giving away a bunch of tickets right now? Is it do you know what I'm talking about? Man, there's somebody from the Colts that keeps giving out Super Bowl tickets. Maybe you need to hit him up. He might be able to hook you up. But all right, last but not least, Tony, bring us home. What's your prediction and how you be watching the game?
I want to say 31-0, but we'll say 31-20 Rams. Definitely watching at home. We're going to party. My wife's going to do a lot of cooking and have some friends over and everything. And if I could say one thing before we leave, thank you, Cincinnati. Thank you, Cincinnati. Because I think I can speak for all of us. None of us wanted to see Brittany or Jackson Mahomes dancing on the 50-yard line at SoFi. Thank you, Cincinnati.
You're more than welcome for that one because we're very happy for that too.
I think the world thinks so.
Sometimes it's the hero you don't realize you need, right?
That's right. That's right.
Mark, what were you gonna say, bud?
I said Kansas City, we would have beat them up. Cincinnati's a more deserving team. It's gonna be a good game. Kansas City, we would have blown out.
See,
It's gonna be an awesome game.
This is what's nice is they like to be a little chippy toward each other, but I don't think these fan bases can really dislike each other. I think, the Bengals might feel a certain way because maybe they didn't get to play the Niners. And then the Rams are just glad they don't get to see the Chiefs and what
That's true.
Tony just
I think we have an easier path through Cincinnati. So
Oh wow. That's
No.
Styles
You ain't
make
got an
fights, though.
easier path.
Styles
Yeah.
make fight. I think it'll be a good matchup.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great matchup. Can't wait. Very excited to see it.
Well, guys, I just want to really just thank you all for coming on the show. Appreciate y'all doing what you do and being on camera, representing your team, talking about the game, making some pretty good analysis, some good predictions. We're a little all over the place. I wouldn't expect anything less than the Rams to go all in on the Rams and the Bengals to go all in on the Bengals. But man, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Make sure you tell all your friends, we're going to put this up for everybody to see so you can, we'll tag you in it and show you on Facebook, YouTube, all that kind of good stuff. But just wanted to sincerely thank you guys for coming on, and maybe we'll talk down the road.
Yeah,
right.
of course. Thank you for having me. Pleasure.
Thank you guys so much.
All right, and then last but not least, Houday, baby, they're going to win.
Who they?
Rams out. That's what it is. Rams out.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Thanks for having us. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
All right.